Welcome to part 4 of the BMW R9T Scrambler build. In part 1, 2 and 3 we covered the design and fabrication of the custom fuel tank, exhaust and lighting system set to transform this bike. Here in part 4 we bring it all together and finalise the lighting system, the tank cover, the quick release seat, and we design and make a small saddlebag storage system, mount up some fresh tyres and get this bike ready to ride. So let's get to work. I've always loved the simple single speedo on the R9T Scrambler. Olden days styling with modern tech, it has a lot of features that you're able to scroll through. This new bracket gets it down nice and low to create a minimalistic front end. The new 4.5-inch headlight gets dropped down as well. Its LED design means it's much thinner in profile and allows the light to get sunken in behind the fork tubes. I needed this tank cover to be mounted well enough that it doesn't feel loose between my knees. Riding a bike off-road takes a lot of control and you can't always rely on your upper body for that. I've incorporated the stock indicator mounts in here too. Just below the indicators sit the new spotlights. I've been caught out on the trail after dark a few times, and when things get sideways you're not exactly going where your headlight's pointing. These fixed lights should help with that. The new exhaust position requires a new mount. I am retaining the rubber isolator here, which is very important as the stainless steel grows and expands with heat. On my land speed bike, the exhaust grew 10mm in length over one run alone, which is why exhausts always need to be allowed to move around. Alright, it's time to fire this up. Just topped up the fuel tank. Another thing, because the headers are fresh, the stainless has never been heated before, made sure that it was crystal clean. If you have any fingerprints or anything on fresh stainless steel, which happens when you're building parts like this, and then you run it through the first heat cycle, sometimes that can burn into the stainless and be there forever, which is really unsightly, so I always make sure that I clean down the pipe. Let's hit the start button and see if it goes. I'm so stoked with this bike and I cannot wait to ride it. It's given me a whole new appreciation for it. These headers are starting to tinge gold, which I can't wait till they're fully gold after the first ride. They'll match the muffler nicely. It's got a whole different note to it because I got rid of the exhaust valve in there and I got rid of the baffles in the muffler. So it's so much louder. But the one thing that I do love is the intake noise through these filters. Obviously we got rid of the big plastic airbox which muffled all of that. So it sounds much better now. This has got me motivated to finish up the rest of the jobs, starting with the seat. Underneath the seat we've got our lithium battery. This is a smaller than stock item, but it still has around 200 cold cranking amps, which these BMW motors really need. Most of the electronics that sit in here are stock, apart from the relay that I use for the spotlights at the front. And now I'm working on the seat pan, which I water jet out of 3mm alloy. And I've got these little standoffs here that bring the seat up off the frame. These drop in slide forward, and then up the back here we've got a quick connect fastener. So that clicks into position and allows us to have a tool-free, easy seat on and off assembly, just so that when you're on the trail, if you need anything under here, say if you need to replace a relay or check a fuse or anything like that, you can do that without tools. And then on top of there, obviously making a seat on aluminium is never ideal, because you want to wrap and stick your foam to a surface that then you can staple the cover onto. So I've got a bit of polyurethane sheet. This is about 6.5 mm thick. Again, water jet, and this sits straight on top here. And now I can use this to get my seat made up. As the bike's up on the bench at the moment, I don't really know the seat height that I require. So before I go and get this seat trimmed, what I'm going to do is run this foam. Now I've laser cut this in 6mm increments. So I'm going to try out maybe 3 or 4 on top of it, and then I can add some more, just so that I can get the seat height right. In a bike that you ride off-road or flat track or anything like that, it's something that you want to sort of be up on the tank and kind of in a tack position. But because this bike will be doing a lot of commuting as well, I want it to be generally comfy, and the seat height is going to be a major factor in that. There's a small Aussie moto brand doing big things, and it's called Akin Moto, and it's ran by a friend of mine who I built a bike for a number of years ago. It was a KTM 300 two-stroke street tracker, and it was a wild bike and a really cool build. I really wanted some small saddlebags to store some tools in, and Max at Akin had just what I was looking for. I jumped on CAD, drew up a bracket that suits the stock BMW subframe bolt pattern, and after some water jetting, bending and finishing, I'm loving the results. These will come in super handy, and I've added some upper hooks to be able to wrap some other luggage up with too. I love these headlight covers, and I think they'll be a handy addition when I'm on the flat track. Speaking of flat track, I'm going to need some more tread, as the factory Metzlers were getting a little flogged out. I chose a pair of Bridgestone AX41 off-road tyres, which will give me enough grip off-road and enough predictability on-road to be a great all-round tyre choice for this Scrambler. I have my own tyre machine, and although you don't exactly need one for motorcycle tyre changes, it does come in super handy, making this job a breeze. Firstly, I have to get my old 1965 Econoline out of the way. These tyres on rims, the to-do list is really slimming down. It's good timing too, because the launch date is coming up fast, and this bike ships to Brisbane in just a few days' time. I'll leave it here for part 4, but stay tuned for the 5th and final instalment of this build series, where I'll finalise the paint, take it for a test run, and then get it sideways at the new R12 GS launch at North Brisbane Raceway.